Non-duality is like a message of good news. The good news is, all this time you've been thinking and believing that you're just a person, that you're just this body and mind in this world, but luckily the real you is so much more than that, and all of your worries and fears cannot ultimately harm you and are not ultimately real. Non-duality addresses three things. Number one, how to stop suffering. Number two, how to find lasting peace and happiness. And number three, what is the true nature of reality? But that's for those who want to go a bit deeper. With non-duality, you don't actually have to learn anything new that you don't already know deep down in your heart. It's that non-duality is trying to make you remember who or what you really are. Here's a couple of technical things that you don't really need to remember. At its core, non-duality points beyond all words and all meaning and all concepts to the unspeakable. Non-duality literally means not two. This means, although reality may appear as one, two, or many things, the true nature of reality is an infinite field of indivisible oneness, which we are all one with. This means me, you, all other people, and all animals are all one. Now on to something relatively important. Non-duality as a concept has its roots thousands of years back into history, all over the world in many spiritual, religious and mystical traditions, but we could say there are two main types of messages or teachings about non-duality trending on YouTube. The first we could call absolutist non-duality, and it basically says, this is it. All there is what is appearing, and this is what's most deeply desired. The sense of being a personal self is an illusion. There's no one here. All there is this, and it's the end of all seeking. And I believe this message has value and truth on some level, but it doesn't feel complete. Those who espouse it don't seem to have any deep wisdom about the human psyche or emotions and tend to negate the journey of the individual. After all, there is this human experience too, right? A more useful and complete understanding is the second type, which says you're not just a person with personal problems and personal suffering. Those are real on one level, of course, but there is a higher truth. The real you is awareness. You are awareness. You are this awareness with which you are experiencing reality right now. Its other names include true self, higher self, or infinite creative consciousness. You are infinite, you are love, you are one with everything and everyone, and peace and love and happiness are your true nature. You don't feel one with everything and feel peace and love and happiness all the time because your true nature can get covered up with dark clouds of thoughts and emotions, and reality is often seen through a lens of thinking which chops everything up into two, and the experience of oneness is lost. Non-duality offers a pathless path by which to remember your true nature, remember that you are infinite peace and love, and free yourself from disturbing thoughts and feelings by seeing clearly that they do not harm who you really are. This is called a non-dual awakening. The illusion of being a separate self is seen through, and a deeper truth is revealed. A non-dual awakening can happen when you listen to non-duality messages, teachings or meditations, or by a prescribed method called self-inquiry, which is a process of discriminating your true nature from the rest of the illusion. It can also happen at any time, completely spontaneously, because there's nothing between you and your true self. And to be honest, awakening does sound a bit fancy, right? Like light explosions in the head or some psychedelic experience. But really, awakening is simply the clear seeing of reality. The late great Indian sage and influencer of modern non-duality, Sri Ramana Maharshi said, "Peace is the inner nature of humankind. If you find it within yourself, then you find it everywhere." Non-duality messages or teachings profoundly changed the experience over here. For me, I feel it happened in stages. Shortly after a breakup from an almost decade-long relationship with my best friend and lover at the time, I was plagued by anxious thoughts about me and my life and how could this happen to me and what do I do now and will I have enough money and will life ever be as good again? And I had this incredible emotional pain that I didn't know how to deal with, and a bunch of childhood trauma layered in underneath that for good measure. I listened to messages that made me realize I am not that character in the sad and scary story in my mind. I am not the Alex in the story of Alex in my mind. That was a revelation because the sad, painful and anxious story of me and my life dominated my thoughts and feelings. Instantaneously, it was like the heaviness of the whole heavy story dropped away and this inner freedom was revealed. I could suddenly see that this was the peace I had been looking for on the outside, standing there, outshining everything as simply the presence of what is, which is everything there is. And although non-duality isn't about getting to a better future, I still feel awakening to non-dual truths was the foundation for all my healing, growth and expansion. And it's not like I never experienced negative thoughts or fearful feelings ever again, but my experience went from someone caged in the idea of simply being a separate individual with a ton of life problems to the clear seeing that ultimately all there is infinite awareness, infinite oneness. It's like becoming awake in a lucid dream. First you think you're the character in the dream, then you realize, holy shit, the whole dream is me. And just like a lucid dream, it doesn't mean that the dream goes perfect from then on, and it doesn't mean that the dream never scares you ever again, but it does mean that you remember ultimately it's a dream. And when you remember that, there is this unshakable foundation of inner peace that's revealed. Before you go, a quick message from my sponsor, which is my personal coaching program for you. It enables me to produce all of this free content. It's called the Awaken Aware program. It's a science and non-duality informed coaching program to help you remember your true nature and live as your true nature in the world. People who have completed the program have experienced overcoming anxiety, emotional healing, breaking addictions, more happiness, focus and flow, and this is the very feedback from clients. You can apply for the free one-to-one with me or one of my team to see if you'd be a good fit for the program over at speaktoalex.com. I hope this video helped. See you in the next one. Peace and blessings. Love you all. Peace.